Hello to the powerful everyday women of the world. Welcome to the Startup Stories podcast, where the ambitious everyday woman is heard, held, and served in life and business. I'm your host, Mia Frankl of Powerful Inc., the everyday woman's coach for living a peaceful and productive life. Live out your calling every day through the mundane, through the routines. Activate your soul and live out loud. On this podcast, you'll hear relatable stories to keep you sane, grounded, and growing as you expand yourself and deliver your purpose to the world. And today's guest is me. I'm recording an official solo episode, an official teaching conversation with myself and you. So the last episode I aired was a recording from my self-interview in the Everyday Woman Summit 3, where women gather. And this time I'm a little nervous, but I trust myself. And we're going to go into the everyday woman isn't lost. She's waiting for safety. She's waiting for herself to give herself safety so that she can live out her calling every day and be her big, badass, beautiful self on repeat and work her mission in little bits. I found myself saying quite often lately that the coaching industry has misled us. There have been a lot of beautiful offers and work available, but at the same time, it promises a lot of sensationalism. And at Powerful Inc., there's not going to be any sensationalism. There's still laundry, there's still bills, there's still kids. But what's different is you changing yourself, you getting more intentional, you getting more clear. And this is the conversation for today. So you're doing all the right things, but you still feel maybe it feels like an emptiness. Maybe it feels like a waiting. Maybe it feels like a pressure, like you have to perform harder to get to where you want. You have a job, you have a lot of responsibilities. I pray that you have some sort of spirituality in your life. You know that I'm a Christian and I love the Lord so much, and my faith walk is deepening daily. You care for others, but you care for yourself too. But you keep putting yourself on a shelf. You keep waiting for a different time. You keep waiting for a different circumstance. Or you're trying, but then you falter. Then you try and you falter. All of these things are normal. All of these things are part of the journey. I'm not here to have you burn your life down. I'm here to bring you home to yourself. So that you can hold. I've been saying this a lot lately too. Hold all the glory and all the gore. They go together and they belong hand in hand. And owning and stewarding that duality is the reconnection to yourself. It's not about reinventing yourself. It's not about a ginormous life change. And of course, disclaimer, if that calls to you, that is what you do. But because I speak to the everyday woman, and my dear, dear friend Starlin and I were having this chat yesterday, maybe the everyday woman is feeling like a limit. The whole purpose of that client avatar, that place to anchor into, is so that we can see ourselves, so that we can see ourselves as we are, how we are, right here, right now. and know that that's enough, and know that we still can do, have, be, etc., the things that we want, right as where we stand, right as what is in front of us, because there's a calling. It's yearning to come to life, and it may feel like a weight, a drain, a not yet, but that desire will never go away. You guys, I've interviewed over 100 different women now, and then I have these kinds of conversations all the time. That feeling in your soul's not going to go away, and it may be a matter of timing, but that desire can start to grow now. As is, where is. I think that's a real estate term when they're selling a house. As is, where is, which usually means the house needs a lot of work. But another real estate rule is to buy the dog on the block and turn it into beauty. And you can bring your calling into your everyday life right now, as is, where is. What that looks like for me is working on batching my marketing content at 9:30 p.m. while laying in bed. What that looks like for me is sleeping in until about 5:30, getting up. I like to do the dishes in the morning if they haven't been done. We don't have a dishwasher. I find it cathartic and a relaxing way to wake up and clean and like fresh sink, fresh kitchen for when I get home from work. And then I come in here with my coffee, which I'm going to have a sip of because I haven't yet. And I do something like this. Maybe record a podcast, maybe on the content of one of my programs, maybe do some networking, maybe do some posting, some strategy planning. There's a lot I could say about that. The underlying current of this is organizing my life with the time that I have and being a good steward for using that time for my mission, for my calling. You don't need a lot of time. You just need to use time wisely. And this allows for the release of guilt and for a spiritual activation. Your soul gets stage time. Your soul gets to play. Your soul, gets prioritized. Your soul gets prioritized when you organize your schedule, your routine to be ish enough to support time and space for your calling to come out. And in that, you will find more aliveness, more presence and pressure, less ego, and more soul intelligence, spiritual intelligence, one of the 4/5 pillars at Powerful Egg. Side note, fine. Spiritual pillar, heart, emotional body, and community, all held together with community. When you suppress desire, it's disconnection to yourself, and it makes the weight of everything else harder. So last night, lying in bed, the message that I was writing had to do with, yeah, I'm tired sometimes. Yeah, it feels like a lot sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I want to burn it all down. In my 5+ years of business, I've only had about one real burn it down moment. Throw the desk. What is this all about? Because my mission, my heart is so much bigger. But all of that is normal. All of that's going to happen. Every experience in life is going to wear heavy on the flesh from time to time. Your job is to build your spirit up, to hold that, the duality, to stay in that, and to know that there's still bigger work to be done in little moments of time. And when this comes through, it becomes holy, it becomes connected, it becomes more of your actual identity. Because the identity that you're going around in when you're not allowing your soul to shine is the one that holds you back. And this is why your wild everyday woman went quiet. You didn't lose yourself. You adapted to the environment around you. You put other responsibilities ahead of your spirit. It's not a bad thing. It's just a recalibration. The world got sticky, it got stuck to you, and you shifted your interaction with it to cope, to manage, to a little bit go the easy way. And when you go dormant on yourself, your safety, oof, disappears. You shrink, you wait, you hedge, you make excuses, and you put your soul work, your calling on a shelf. But the blessing in that is that shelf never goes away and that calling is always there. And you can always go back to it by going into yourself and activating the wild woman within, the everyday woman within. And what this means is grounding, quiet, patience, time to practice, to give space, to start to weave in this new ingredient, if you will, into your life. It's going to look a little bit different for all of us, but what should be the common thread is the intentional time given in order, pardon me, for your soul to come alive. Listening to music, reading something, journaling, creating art, clay, painting, drawing, moving the body, walking, exercise, cleaning. A good angry clean for me sometimes is very cathartic. These are the small, everyday micro activations that are going to lead to macro results, that are going to lead to more spiritual spaciousness, more mental clarity, and self led leadership, heart led leadership, allowing your nervous system to calm, to root into your faith, and to embody a different state of being that allows you to live your everyday life while working on a legacy mission, a much bigger mission than the laundry. I love the laundry. I have a basket of clean laundry sitting outside the office door, and I tried to get it in the photo of me sitting on the bed working on the marketing last night. The everyday woman's activation is learning how to hold your power without abandoning your peace. So it's not about doing more, it's about making space inside yourself to organize what you're doing. And one of my commercial jingles is there's time for everything, but not everything at the same time. So you're going to focus on just this one thing, 5 minutes. Sit and try to read a book. For 5 minutes, sit and try to write a post. For 5 minutes, sit and try to map out your calendar for the week in a framework, structure without constriction. Another one of my jingles. Give yourself some space to play and start to build. And this will start to calm the nervous system. You will let go of feeling frazzled, and had this conversation at dance pickup last night. I forgot the tutu. I forgot the lunch. I'm still having a hard time getting going after Christmas. Yeah, no kidding. Because you're a leader in your community, because you're an ambitious, industrious woman who does and holds a lot. And we expect ourselves to always perform. But if we put the performance down, then it's like, I'm allowed to make mistakes. In fact, I expect myself to make mistakes. And if we can teach that to our kids, how much freer will they be from shame and depravity and not enoughness. Oops, I made a mistake. I'm going to fix it. It's okay. It doesn't affect your worth, provided it's not malicious and intentional. That's a different conversation. The activation here. Hold your power without abandoning your peace. You learn to self regulate. And by following through on what you say you want, build self trust. And it's very, very self honoring. And that is where you begin to build your anchored connection to feel desire without fear. Your desire is deeper than your motivation, it's your calling coming to life. And this is such a deep desire and passion of mine for you to know what's possible. I'm not interested in growing seven-figure earners. I'm not interested in global stage takeovers. I'm interested in mobilizing the army of everyday women who may want to start a business, but more so want to be on fire for their life every day. I create communities that I crave where we bring sisterhood together and we witness each other as being impeccable, exquisite, extremely powerful individuals who elevate each other, who really see each other and pour into one another. I've curated my business to be like a boutique, my coaching business. My containers are very personal. I don't want big launches. I want intimacy and connection and depth with a few small women that are going to have that with me and amongst each other, and where it's a reciprocal journey for all of us to gain and grow. I'm a phenomenal coach, but I'm getting as much out of it as you are. And the reason I can do that now is because of everything I've talked about, because I've gone through a shedding, a clarity, an organizing, and holding the timeline. Now, we may have heard of quantum leaps and all this. I am exhausted of overnight sensationalism. And what I'm really seeing in my journey right now, my love, is that it's happening over time. It's happening over time. Let me even dial that back more. It's happening. It's happening. You know what's different about today than was different about yesterday? I'm a day older. I'm also a day better and stronger and more aware and anchored in and clear. And the reason I'm speaking about, the size of my programs and the desire for, what am I going to say, like small scale revenue, is because I know that I can scale that revenue because I've organized my my week, and I can run multiple containers in small groups of 5 or 6. I can run that multiple times in a week, and I can have a bunch of different cohorts where I might actually be moving 20 or 25 women through. 25 women at 5 women a program would be 5 hours, because the Everyday Woman Awakening is a 1 hour weekly container. So I want you to see the behind the scenes of how I've organized my life and business to have a big impact. I don't have to limit my income, but I'm very intentional with how I'm going to use my time, where I'm going to show up, and how specifically I'm going to curate my work to meet my true alignment, my true desire, and my deep intentionality connection with you. In these kinds of communities, we can actually heal faster together because we each get seen. very seen, very held, very personal, maybe a little confronting. I'm really good at holding that space. Really good at holding that confronting space. So if we don't rush ourselves, we open to listen to ourselves, to see deeper, and to be grounded and practical. Just sit in that for a minute. We're not needing to become someone new. We're remembering who we already are, what we're already capable of. It's inside, buried, hidden in an armpit, behind the knee, above the ear, somewhere in the body. And we're going to go there. And this is juicy. Like, like a warm light, sparkly, energetic light. It's going to spread throughout you. And eventually, what happens is that power, that soul activation, that calling allowance becomes cellularly connected throughout your entire being. And it changes everything around you. And it brings forth beautiful, beautiful opportunities, ones you've never dreamed of. For me, it's being invited to coach on a women's luxury trip in South Africa. That is phenomenal. That is powerful. That is anchored into the truth of who I am. And preparing for that trip is allowing even more of me to come out, even more of that beautiful, glowing, sparkly light to take over and to elevate my identity and my sense of calling and my clarity in organizing my time around this and allowing it to take up space and to be a daily subject, a daily celebration, and an honoring of the work that I'm here to do. When you stop abandoning yourself to be good for others and to put other things ahead of you, that's when your wild woman within starts to rise. That's when the micro moves create the macro results. Maybe the next episode will be around what does abandoning yourself mean if you're not recognizing that pattern. But I will leave you with what it used to mean to me when I would grocery shop years ago before my daughter was born. My household didn't care for ribs or chicken wings, so I wouldn't buy them. That was an act of self abandonment. Just because the rest of the house didn't want to eat them, it didn't mean that I couldn't. So buy the darn chicken wings. Go after the thing that you want. One small move, one grocery item at a time can make a big change in your life when you stop shrinking, when you stop putting off, when you stop saying no to what you actually want. One small move at a time. The irony of not buying the chicken wings because no one else would have wanted them is that my stepdaughter had gluten and dairy allergies. So we would buy food that was just for her. So why on earth would I not equate that to then buying food that could be just for me? So I want you to message me after hearing this episode and tell me where is one small spot that you're shrinking away, that you're abandoning yourself, that you didn't get a t-shirt for $10 even though you really wanted it because you felt bad because, and let's start there. And you will start to see the freedom that comes when we make it safe to be who we are, when we make it safe to fulfill our desires, and when we make it safe to allow our calling out in small, mundane, everyday micro moves. Oh, I really am surprised and yet not at the beauty of this episode and how gorgeous and delicious it felt to share this message with you today. So reach out if that connects with you, because if something softened while listening, that's the recognition that we're going for here. This is you choosing yourself and hearing that activation push on that part of you that's buried somewhere in your body. And this isn't about now what, how. This is just saying yes, yes to yourself and going, wow, I heard something today that really hit home and I want to go deeper there. And you can just sit in it. And then, of course, you can come and hang out with me. I can bring you in to the Everyday Woman Awakening and hold you and take it deeper. Because if you're ready to let her start to take up space and trickle through, I would be so, so honored to work with you in that journey, to walk with you, beside you with that. So as we close, I want you to put your hand on your chest, on your heart, on your boobs. Take a breath with me. Through the nose, out through the mouth again. My shoulders melt and I just kind of flump forward, and it's so beautiful of like, let go. Just be. Ground in. So, my friend, my beautiful, exquisite, very powerful everyday woman, what part of you is ready to come back online? What part of you is ready to go forward in the rest of your day in a slightly more aware, activated state? What is one micro move you're going to make for yourself today? And come and tell me. Facebook is where I hang out. Facebook the most. Instagram-ish, but I'm big, big, big in the Facebook. Send me a message. Tell me what you did to allow more of that space to come out. Oh, thank you for joining me and for listening and for being part of this journey with me, my beautiful, beautiful woman. If you're ready for more of you to be unlocked, I am waiting, drooling with anticipation for you to join me in the Everyday Woman Awakening, my 6-week small cohort experience for women ready to go within, build that self-trust, regulate that nervous system, and really lead yourself in your life with love and clarity. Message me and I will set you up and we will smash the beauty within. I love you so much. See you next time. Have a powerful day.